One theory that I keep hearing about in videos is that in the Secret of the Mimic game, whoever we're playing as is sent in after the first two teams that we learn about in the book. And since both of those teams failed, now we're like the big guns. We're going in to stop the Mimic and retrieve it. I don't think that this is the case though, and here's why. In the Mimic story, Team 1 and Team 2 are actually clueless as to why they're being sent to Edwin's factory, whereas in the game, fazbear does give them an idea of what they're actually supposed to be doing there. Team 1 in the books is sent in to clean up a mess, and besides that, they don't really know what they're actually supposed to do. They end up patching up the building as best they can and other odd jobs until they find the Mimic Endo. The Mimic Endo is without legs and not functioning, but they said it looks like it should be functional once it has legs. So the last thing we know of them is that they were putting a non-functioning Endo's legs onto the advanced Endo, which is the Mimic animatronic. The Mimic Endo essentially, which presumably kills them when it's activated again. And then Team 2 is sent in after them at some point to clean up the mess of Team 1. Team 2 was not told about the Mimic at all, but were instead told to clean up the mess, make repairs, get it handled. Team 2 realizes too late that this was just fazbear trying to cover everything up. But the fact that Team 1 was sent to clean up an already existing mess means that the events from Secret of the Mimic have likely already happened before Team 1 ever entered. Fazbear just wants all of this swept under the rug by the time Team 2 comes around. If that isn't convincing enough though, the other important point to add here is that there are no other functioning animatronics in the factory when Team 1 and 2 go into the building. So the Secret of the Mimic story would have to have taken place before the Mimic book story, since all the animatronics are still moving around in Secret of the Mimic. When Team 1 arrives, even the Mimic isn't functioning. The other possibility is just that the books aren't directly canon, and we're playing a similar but all new set of events, but things just play out differently than the books do. In this version, Fazbear Entertainment lets us know why we're going into Edwin's Manor, but they redact a bunch like they do for Team 1 and 2, who don't really know why they're actually going in. They redacted all the other information, which does seem to imply that something may have already happened here either way. If, on the flip side though, the game takes place after these two teams have come and gone, it is curious how orderly everything looks in the trailer until the chaos starts unfolding, which just makes me think something has to have happened before these teams go in to clean up the mess. One last thing I do want to mention. Team 2 consists of Dominic, Harry, and Glenn. When they first enter the factory, they're observing how creepy it is, and the book reads as follows. Harry had told Dominic he debated whether to quit the job rather than take the assignment. "What are you afraid of?" Dominic had asked, resisting the urge to laugh at his friend. "I've heard stories," Harry had said. "What stories?" Harry had shaken his head. "My mom always says that talking about something gives it more power." Dominic had snorted at the superstitious idea. Now, however, he wondered what Harry had heard. What was so bad that Harry didn't want to give it more power? Which brings up the question, what were the stories Harry had heard about? It seems Fazbear can never keep the allegations away, and deservedly so. This company is disgusting. It seems like something did happen sometime before these events. So currently, I absolutely believe that regardless of book canonicity, we are going to experience that first event, the big nightmare tale that the book hasn't filled us in on yet. The secrets will come to light, and honestly, I'm having trouble waiting.